Today's video is on classifying rational numbers. Now, these 3 words are on your vocab list for next week, so don't worry about writing them right now, but you will learn about them, and you'll put them in your journal soon. So our first word is rational numbers. Rational numbers are any number that can be written as a fraction. It is basically any number that we use in 6th grade. So the numbers that you know of, whole numbers and integers, those are the ones we've been working with right now. They can be written as fractions as well. So if you think about the number 2, you can write the number 2 as a fraction, 2 over 1. Remember that a fraction means divide, and 2 divided by 1 equals 2. Okay, so even whole numbers can be written as fractions. Decimals can be written as fractions as well. So rational numbers are basically any number that you can think of that you know about in 6th grade. All right, integers are the whole numbers and their opposites. So it's our positive and negative whole numbers. Okay, and lastly, whole numbers are 0 and the positive counting numbers, which 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. All right, now we can classify numbers as being whole, integer, or rational. It might be 1, it might be 2, it might be all 3 of these classifications. So I'm going to show you what we do to determine that. We use this fancy chart. I want you to draw this picture in your journal, and we're going to classify these numbers. Now, like I said earlier, all the numbers that you know about in 6th grade are definitely rational numbers. So I'm going to start by writing all these numbers here in the rational number square. So 0 is a rational number, 12, negative 3, 1.8, negative 3.5, 1/2, negative 2/3, 6 over 1, and negative 2 over 2. All of those are definitely rational numbers. Now, some of them are not only rational numbers, but also integers. So I pretend like there is a gate right here, and only certain numbers can pass through that gate. And those are the numbers that are also classified as integers. So those would be numbers that are positive or negative and that are whole. Okay, so we don't want fractions or decimals unless that fraction can be simplified to a whole number. Okay, so let's start looking at our numbers. The number 0. Is the number 0 whole? Yes, it is. So it can pass through the gate, so it goes into the integer square. So I'm going to remove it from the rational number square because now it's moved into the integer square. So is it still in the big square? Yes, but now it's inside the integer one as well. So right now 0 has 2 classifications, rational and integer. All right, the number 12. Is the number 12 whole? Yes, it is. So it gets to go through that gate. So it moves in to the integer square. About negative 3. Yep. So negative 3 moves into the integer square. 1.8? No. This 0.8 on the end prevents it from moving through the gate. It can't go through. Negative 3.5? No. The 0.5 prevents it from going through. 1/2. Is 1/2 a whole? No, it's only half of something. It's a fraction, so because it's a fraction that does not simplify, it cannot go through. Negative 2/3? No. If I had 3/3, that would be a whole, but it's only 2/3, so that's a no. All right, what about 6 over 1? This is what we talked about a second ago. 6 over 1, doesn't that equal 6? Because 6 divided by 1 is 6. So that's whole, so 6 over 1 gets to be an integer as well. And then lastly, negative 2 over 2. Again, if we divide 2 over 2, we get 1 whole, and then that negative sign is on it, okay? So negative 1, that is whole. It does not have a decimal or fraction, so negative 2 over 2 gets to come over here. All right, so all of those were able to pass into the integer square. So they are rational and they are integers. And then we're going to, again, give the whole numbers a gate. And the only thing that can move into the whole numbers are the positive whole numbers. Okay, we can't have any negatives. So negative 3 can't go, but 0 can. And so can 12. and so can 6 over 1, because that equals the whole number 6. All right, so we're going to write our classifications now next to these numbers. All right, so the number 0, it's made it all the way into the whole number square. So that means it's rational, it's an integer, and it's a whole number. It's all 3. The number 12, again, made it to the middle square, so it's rational, integer, and whole. Negative 3 stopped at integers, so that means it's rational and integer. 1.8, he's sitting out on the rational number side, so he's only rational. He couldn't go any further. Same thing for negative 3.5, only rational. Same thing for 1/2, only rational because it's a fraction. Negative 2/3 is only rational. 6 over 1 made it all the way to whole number, so it was rational, integer, and whole. And negative 2 over 2 made it to the integers, so it's rational and integers. Now I want you to notice, do you see how every single one of these has the R for rational? Every number that you are dealing with in 6th grade is a rational number. The question is, can you move it into the integers or the whole number classification as well? Okay, but every single one is rational. All right, get these examples into your journal.